Alafia, this is Yaya Fini, Efumbolade, yayafini.com, Balanced Living. This is our Teaching Tuesday again. Tuesday is the day that we talk about some of the things that I use as my inspiration, as well as some of the stories and apatekis that we use in this faith to elaborate on the importance of connection to spirit. Today we're speaking again on Olokun because during this time with the violence that's going on, we need to use water and we used to use prayers to shift energy. And so water being free in terms of not cost, but ability and for us to have. And so this is a story of a particular warrior who was called to become king of another land. He was very, very powerful, had many, many friends, but he thought everyone loved him because he always tried to do the best by everyone. And so when he was called and it was told to him that he would go to another town to become king, he was so happy. He called all of his friends that he knew that was strong with him and says, I'm going to another town and we have to go across a lot of mountains and caves and hills. So let's pack heavily for the journey. And when we go to the new town, we'll celebrate and we'll have positions and that for everyone because y'all have been my backbone, my homies, whatever we want to call it, our friends. And so on the trip, when they went, it was time for them to take a nap, time for them to sleep rather, because it was night. So they found a cave and they went into this cave and they found that it was very peaceful. It was nice. It had an entrance and a way to get in and a way to get out to get to the other land where they were going. And so they all went in there, and when this warrior went to sleep, his friends, who he thought was his friends, they began to barricade the entrance and the exit of the cave because they wanted to kill him. They wanted him to die because they were envious, they were jealous of him, and they didn't feel that he deserved it. And so they went ahead to start backing up the thing. Now, the young man remembered that before he left, his mother kept crying and telling him, please don't go on a journey. Please don't take your friends. I don't think it's a good time. I have a bad feeling about this trip. And he's like, Mom, come on. Yeah. I have to go. I've been called. This is going to just help all of us and it's going to help our people. And so he went ahead with his friends. But of course, the mother went to the diviner, and the diviner told her to make rituals to Olokun so that her son's trip will go successfully. And so the mother went to Olokun and did the rituals and everything, but she was still crying and still upset. Well, while getting back to the story now, just as they finished blocking the exit that he would be able to go out to the other land, they began closing off the entrance. So they came outside when he was sleeping. They came out and started putting the boulders. And at that same time, Olokun came and a big wave grabbed all of them and dragged them out to the sea, and all of them were drowned. The young man, the next morning he woke up, he realized what his friends had done. And he, of course, was hurt, but determined that he knew where he had to go and what he would do. So he went on to become the king, the chief, the leader of his people. And so the moral of the story, of course, is saying that divination is about letting you know the choices that you have. Because it never says, don't go on a trip. It says, if you're going on a journey, these are the things that you could do so that you will maximize the success and minimize the failure. Because life is about failure, it's about give and take, it's about some days yes, some days no, because that's the way that we grow. And so in this story, we recognize that his mother doing divination for him was the key, because he did not go and do the reading. She did. And as mothers and as caretakers and women and as men, because men go for readings for their sons as well when things are looking like they're not moving to their best behalf. And so sometimes you have to go and reach further to help your children when it seems that in your eyes that there's something that you could do, and not force it on them, but something that you do for yourself, for your own peace of mind. And she was going for her peace of mind, and it said, this is what is on your heart. This is what would help to alleviate it, to make sure that her son stayed alive. And so the moral of the story is that always check with what you're doing, where you're going, and of course, who you're going with. Because you never know, people that hurt you are always the ones that are closest to you because they know you. Strangers, complete strangers don't have that impact. So the moral of the story is be careful who you're taking on your journey, and be careful how you prepare yourself for your journey. So Olokun is always available to us to make sure that the things that we are struggling with. And so for the past couple of weeks, we've been talking about the power of Olokun, the power of going to water, the power of going to the ocean, because Olokun takes care of the things that we cannot see with the chaos that we're having in our communities and the disconnection with it. The benefit that it has is that we're getting more organized, we're getting more committed, we're realizing that we can do more to protect ourselves and to have compassion with each other, with all races, with all cultures, with all creeds, and don't assume that because they don't look like you or you don't look like them, that is there a them, and then there's us. Because once you put those things in your perception, then you're going to then be judging. And your job is not to judge, but it's to find the best that you can of yourself to show up versus trying to find and blame others for the things that are happening for you. So on this Teaching Tuesday, make sure that you know who your friends are, who you're taking on your journey, and always give thanks to your mama for having your back. Have a beautiful Teaching Tuesday.